Hey everyone, we're back, and it's another season of SR Synth Weekly. I am, of course, your beautiful and kind of large redneck here. A lot of things been going on over the holidays. I've been eating and getting fat, so I'm trying to lose it now. Got a lot of great music for this year. Got some more music coming in. That's awesome. I love starting the new year with a lot of new music and a lot of new groups. Also got some new swag. Got the Neon Fox swag going today. Awesome. And we're just going to jump right in and get started. First up today, we got Into the Blood, and I played them before. They are a synth pop electro group out of Denmark, and the song they sent me today is called Catwalk. They're describing this like an old school electronic from Kraftwerk feel inspired track, and it does give that huge Kraftwerk feel, and it's a great feel too. It's a great song. I kind of went with on this one though. I kind of went with a sci-fi tech mystery. And it's kind of like that main title sequence, you know, like a sci-fi mystery TV show, or the movies that you get, and it's that full kind of like sequence of events before we get to the main storyline. Is that whole, gives everybody's, the whole title and everything. And it kind of goes like this. It kind of goes like we see it fade in, and the main at the main scene showing the flyover of a city, which is a all high-tech area. You know me, I like sci-fi and high-tech crap. So then as the song progresses, we see the technology around the city being used on or with the people, and we understand that the storyline is about the city. Everything happens in this city area, or in this whole, one area. And so we kind of understand that the whole storyline is going to evolve around this whole area. So we get a kind of like a prelude of what the city looks like. As the slow part builds in the song, we get back to the main. As the slow part builds back to the main theme in montage, we get this kind of like montage where we see the main, and they're there with either a cop or like a private detective, loner, that kind of type. And we see them working cases and protecting from hackers. They're defeating the hackers, or they're taking care of AI robots that have been, that have gone rogue. And that's kind of what it kind of feels like. That whole montage of a starting thing where everybody's like, we get the whole city sound, and then we get, the cop, loner, private eye, whatever, and they're taking on hackers or AI robots that have gone rogue. So just kind of gives me that feel. On a second thing, because if you're new here, I like to do two visuals on it. On a second note, I like to go with like a main and a lovers enter the hideaway. They get their own little quiet time for once. And we see them getting together and having their little romantic time. As the song progresses, we see the whole, kit and caboodle of it. And at the slow part, we see them lying together, and then we get this kind of like exposition in between the two. And as the main theme comes back in, they leave together and start finishing, the search or whatever they're looking for, or whatever the storyline goes into before the main climax. Both of those work for me. It could work in the same movie, but I kind of like the title sequence better. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments, what you think of the song, and what kind of visuals you think. So here it is, starting off the new year. So here it is. It's Into the Blood, and the song is called Catwalk. Next up in our cavalcade of great new music from the synth world, we have, and if you're new to my show, you're going to understand. I'm going to butcher names, so just please read it, and I am going to butcher this name right off the bat. The next up we have Andrew Hetherington. I hope I say that right. If I don't, I apologize to the artist. And they are a retro wave group out of Skipton, Australia. I hope you're doing okay in Australia. Hope you're making it through all the fires. So that's my first thing. It's a really good track, and the song they sent me today is called Crystal Night. They call this a retro wave track with up-tempo and features, and that gives that great 80s sound as they describe it. It really does. It gives me that whole, it gives a whole retro wave feel that's like just awesome. I kind of went on this visuals, kind of like a teen mystery show, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I got ripped on one because I said it was a teen movie, and they were like, "No, it's not." So, but it kind of gives me that, just that teen mystery show, with like the main thing is like high school, college kids, and they're all together, and we kind of see the main start at the beginning of the series, showing the beginning of the town. Each character is getting like their little intro, and they're doing their normal routines, dancing, working, school, whatever, kind of like a good visual that everybody I think could see. It's kind of like the beginning of like Power Rangers. Each one's doing their own little thing, and we see their whole little, their what they do on a daily basis during this intro, and we then get to the main, and it's showing the main story. It shows the group working together to solve issues and working on mysteries. And then as it starts to fade, we see all the teams, the teams showing together after, and doing that whole little fade out togetherness thing. Kind of gives me that feel. I know the words are a little bit different, but it just kind of gives me that kind of vibe. So let me know what you think. Secondly, also I use we see like the main and lover has been away from each other for a very long time, mission, or they've been separated, kind of whole, that whole storyline of maybe the loner had to go out and do something, the whole mission deal. And they see each other for the first time, and the main returns from whatever the storyline is, and the main and lover reconnect, and we see them embrace and leave together as the story ends. Basically we've seen those before. They've either been separated and they finally get back together, and we see them doing that whole embrace, and they do like a final exposition of "you're late" or whatever kind of deal, and then the story kind of fades off as they just either leave or whatever's going on in the story. I like both. Actually, both work in the same movie. So let me know what you think. As always, like I said, let me know what your visuals are, and as always, follow them, and make sure you follow everybody on here on their social media. So here it is. It's Andrew Hetherington. I'm sorry. And the song is called Crystal Nights.
Crystal nights. leaves are turning gold, and the world is getting cold. I keep praying to the stars above that you recall my name. I remember every word you said, but you never called me back. Crystal nights, crystal nights. Summer has gone, and you turned your back on me. I thought you were the one. I keep praying to the stars above that you recall my name. I remember every word you said, but you never called me back. Crystal nights, crystal nights. I miss you so much since the leaves are turning gold, and the world is getting cold. I keep praying to the stars above that you recall my name. I remember every word you said, but you never called me back. Crystal nights, crystal nights, crystal nights. Crystal nights.
As always, if you're new here, welcome, and I hope you like hopefully you like all the music so far. If you haven't checked out my rest of my music, please rest of the shows check them out. There's always some great artists on there and some great music. If you like the show, please like and subscribe. If you like the shirt I'm going, make sure you follow Jules and Neon Fox on his Twitter account and buy his shirt. I also have shirts for sale, so please buy those too. But anyway, moving on. Next up today we have A.GE. I've played them before, and I think it's pronounced A.GE, but I always forget because I have memory loss because I'm an idiot. Anyway, A.GE is a they're a great group out of Montreal, and they're a synthwave, space wave group. A lot of their stuff has a lot of space type influence on it, and they have a great deal of great music and great atmosphere. Just really good. Just gives you that good space atmosphere. So the song they sent me today is called Second Journey. I played Journey before on their first one. This is their second one, part of that, and it's part of their new album. And they have a lot of, it's a space odyssey out and further in our galaxy, and the whole deal is to uncover the mysteries of the universe. I'm paraphrasing because we'd be here all day. This kind of gives me a lot, so I kind of worked with that. I kind of worked with it on the first one. I kind of went with a team is in a ship, and they're ready to go on a journey, and they have to find a missing friend or a missing artifact that's been scattered through space. And as we see the main part of the song hits, they blast off. And as the song is progressing, we see them flying through the space, and each team member is getting their little montage as it hits warp, and we see them flying through the different systems, different solar systems, nebulas. We see that whole kind of like montage of them enjoying the fact that they're out in space, and all the other ships and everything showing up as the team is moving on, and we see them doing a whole exposition while the whole thing is going through, and how to find their ship, how to find their friend, or how to find whatever they're looking for as they get the ship ready for this moment. Basically, it's just run. They blast off the whole. We get that whole montage of them exposition while this whole grand flight through the solar system. So I kind of went with that because it gives me that feel. Like I said, they like to do spacey feels, and it just a real good space feel on it. And it's like the song. It's their second journey. Also, it kind of gives me on a secondary characters are fighting a lost cause against like a stronger enemy, and all of it seems lost until they get like a message creeping in. If you've seen Endgames, Cap to your left. No, kind of something like that though. We get that message creeping in from the main and the team. We didn't see the team flying in to assist the group as they get closer, and as the song progresses, we see each member speeding to the site while the main is giving the order. As the lighter part of the song hits, we see the team arrive. They're like in speeders, That's kind of what I went with. They feel like they're running in speeders, those high speed like Akira. I even use Star Wars on it. Those speeders, they're really fast, and they arrive and they take out the bad guys while the secondary group is looking on. And then as the song progresses, they check on the other group, make sure they're good, and then move on to the next area. We've seen that before, where a team is gone and they've got like these superior speed crafts, and they're just flying through there, and they start taking out bad guys left and right while the secondary characters are just looking on in awe. So that's kind of gives me that song kind of gives me that lighter part, and that whole moving at speed of light kind of feel. So let me know what you think in the comments as always, and here it is. Check it out. It's A.GE or A.GE, and the song is called Second Journey. Next up today we have Diamondcat, and I finally get to play them. I finally got some music from them, and they are a synthwave group out of Austin. And the song they sent me today is called Jaguar, or Jaguar, depending on what region. They consider this a synthwave song inspired by the myth of the hero's journey. Now I looked that up, and I didn't know if they were the whole just hero's journey storyline that most people say, or if that was a game or a movie. I don't know. I didn't get to ask. So this gives me a lot of good stuff though, because this just gives you that pounding of a little bit of everything. From the start to beginning. From the beginning to the end, it kind of gives you that whole journey. So I loved it. So I kind of went with this on the first one. Maine has shown up to the city and wandering through the journey they've been going through. They're kind of like a hermit or like a prophet or something. And we see them searching, learning, and taking out the bad guys and tech to better themselves. And as this is going on, as we get to the low pass part of the song, we see them understanding what all the searching they've been going through means, and now they understand what the prophecy in the story is meant. As a song, as this whole build up, the song, we see them doing this whole searching bit. They're searching for who they are. Whatever the prophecy is, and every time they get the bad guys trying to stop them from learning anything from to save the storyline and beat the bad guys. They take them out, and then as the story progresses, the prophet learns how to understand and starting to understand what the prophecy means, and as the story progresses, that's the first feel it gives me. It kind of gives me that whole just whole search deal, and search and learning kind of feel. And then we see them move on to the evil that's corrupting to the area. And as they're going there, we see them rushing to the evil as they're now powered and understand. And we just get that whole towards the ending, right before the main climax of the evil. So that's what the first feel it gives me. Next feel it gives me is we see the team working together to figure out the technology to beat the evil in the area. It's one of those movies where you see the team is, they found this new technology, or they were told about this new technology and they figured it out, and now we're seeing them build it. And each member is working on their part to fix the machine, and that will aid in the progress. We see the main machine start up, and as the parts and pieces and we see each part of the move, like the arms, the legs, we see all the gears moving, or all the arms, and just fluid movements. And as the machine comes alive, the team gets real happy, and as the team is really happy, ready to go, and they're all relieved that we know that they know it'll work. And that's kind of gives me both vibes work on that, but I kind of like the prophet better. But as always, let me know what you think. So check it out. It's a really good song. Gives you a whole journey feel. So check it out. It's Diamondcat, and the song is called Jaguar. Next in our lovely set of music today, we have, I'm going to screw this up, so I hope it's pronounced WeKuu. If it's not, help. They're a synthwave, chillwave group out of Philadelphia, and the song they sent me today is called Touch. And I love their description on this, so I love the ending of this description. It is a chillwave inspired mellow track with some hints of energy. Great to tap a glass bottle of ketchup to. I get what they mean, but yeah. So it's a. I guess you can, instead of tapping your toes, you tap a glass of ketchup. So hey, why not? This gives me a whole lot of stuff on it, but I like magic because this gives me a fantasy feel. So I kind of went with like the main and the friends have unlocked the magic that was locked away. Like magicians. The magic's been locked away for many years and stuff, and they found it, and they were unable to beat the enemy and unlock it. As the box opens, we see all the magic surround the area and consume them as they watch the beauty of the magic fill the air. That gives that whole light show. We get that whole beautiful light show of like all the magic just filling the air, filling the world that it was once consumed and everything. And then as this is going on, the team, each member of the team are given the powers that the prophecy predicted. And we watch as the world is given a new light. Basically, gives us that whole, life has been restored by magic. The magic has filled the air. We get this huge light show and it's just gorgeous. And at the time, then it goes over to the main characters and they're all getting this magic that the prophecy says to be the guardians. Excuse me. That's my first feel on it. It just gives me that whole, new light deal. So, also on the second one, kind of gives me the main characters have all gone through a full change, and while the others are watching in awe of this change happening, the main character emerged stronger and full of wisdom as the magic has filled them by this elder or by a prophet, by the same thing. And then they walk out and they're completely changed. The team barely recognizes them and realizes that this is really happening, that this whole prophecy and magic field is just really happening, and they're in awe of it. I know it could work on the same movie, even though it's a little different. It could actually work on the same movie, but it just both give me that kind of feel of, like that change all magic fantasy feel. So as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you follow them on their platforms. All the music's really good. I was checking it out yesterday, so it's all really awesome. So check it out. Here it is. I'm going to go with WeKuu, and the song is called Touch. Next in our synth fun is our beautiful friend, the Paul Walker experiment. If you haven't watched Paul Walker on my early episodes, what's wrong with you? No, check him out. Again, if you haven't listened to him, Paul Walker is an electronic group out of Missouri, and the song they sent me today is called Shadow Walk. And let me read the description because it's a really cool description on it, and I kind of went with it. So, what it is, this track is evocative of a vampire prowling through the back alleys and along rooftops of a modern city late at night looking for a victim to drink. I kind of went with that on a side note of more like a stalker, like just a pure evil being stalker. So what I did was, like, the main evil is stalking the prey, and we see them in the shadows, hiding, shadows, rooftops, like you said, alleys, wherever the shadows are hiding at. And as the song is progressing, we're seeing that this evil is taking each victim, being taken out, and they move through the area. We then see the main and the team is searching the remnants of the attacks for clues on who or what the evil is, as the evil is basically just taunting them and laughing at them and watching them do this, and it feels like a whole game to them. So that's kind of what I went with on that. Basically, what's going on, the stalker's just killing everybody that they can, or they're doing something that to keep them alive. But at the same time, it's a game, and they've chosen the main character in this team to play this game with, to see Catch Me If You Can. That's kind of what it gives me. Also, on a second note, it kind of gives me completely 180. I kind of went with this. I kind of went with a sniper. And the main is a sniper getting set up to take out I went with a cartel. They went out with, take out a main cartel of the main bad guys. And we see them setting up the area, and as the song progresses, we see them taking out each member of this cartel and then moving on to the next location. All the while, the cartel goons are searching for the main as the main is taking them out. And then as the ending approaches toward the song, we see the sniper take the final shot at the leader, and then they move out to the next area. Basically, the sniper's getting ready and, starts taking out every part of the cartel, and we get this whole running situation where the cartel's trying to take them out, but they're already hidden, and just keeps taking them out until the ending shot with the cartel boss. I went with cartel. You could use anything, but both work for me. I mean, it kind of if you listen to the song, you can see how both sides could work. It could be a horror movie. It could also be an assassin movie. So just kind of works. So check it out. It's a really good song. As always, check out the rest of their stuff on their sites, as described below. And here it is. It's the Paul Walker Experience, and the song is called Shadow Walk. last up for our first year of the New Year is that we're going to end up in space again. That kind of works out because my mind is always in space, as it doesn't work anymore. I have no memory. No. Last up today we have Orbital Hikers, and they're a synthwave, chillwave, synth space as they call it, out of Mexico. And I think I've played them before, but I gotta find out before I say anything about it. And the song they sent me today is called Space Lover. And they call this for the lovers of space travel, a song created with cold wave sounds of synthesizer from the 80s. I kind of went with that. This kind of went with a weird story on it. I felt a little different, so I kind of just bear with me for a second. We see the main and group watching a new space and planets being made after being released from this evil scientist's grasp. We see the planets grow and move into place like the Big Bang. Everything's, they've released this whole planet system that if they didn't, it was going to blow up and take out everything. But they release this planet, all the planets get into alignment. Everything gets into their own alignment and orbits, and they're just sitting here in awe. And then the team lands on the newly formed planet. The trees and airs are already, there and as perfect as the world is new. The team laugh and are in awe of the wonders of the new worlds around them and ready to be populated. Basically, this scientist built this solar system to take out the rest of the world, take out the rest of the solar systems out there internally, and they beat them and they have to, this empty space they have to open it up, and it creates this whole new world and everything's ready to be populated. Unbeknownst to the scientist, he figured it out. They didn't figure out that they actually saved the world instead of wanting to destroy the others using that. So, and this whole team is in this new world and it's all ready to be populated and everything's perfect. That's kind of what I get at first on it. I know it was kind of weird to go that route, but it just felt good for me. Secondly, the team in the main have beaten the evil, and afterward are walking back to the to the world as they notice. They're going back to the city or wherever they were coming from, and they notice the world side effect after beating the evil. The darkness is removed from the world, and the whole world is starting to change as the evil was keeping a dark, kind of like a dark plane, darkness around the world. The world is now full of light and life, and everything's returning to normal that the darkness has had by that evil. And then the team returns to the city as the people are celebrating and enjoying this whole new light and just in awe of everything that's been changed. As the song moves on, though, we see the lover and the main get that time together, and as everybody else is celebrating, we see them leave and go start to do their own thing off in the distance. They just walk off into the sunset, so to speak. So it kind of gives me that feel too. Basically, it's just basically the evil's been beaten. They've held a grasp over the light of the world, and everything's been turned back to normal. Kind of what I feel. So let me know what you think in the comments. As always, make sure you follow the rest of their stuff on their sites. Really cool stuff. And here it is for our last song today, Orbital Hikers, and its song is called Space Lover. Hope everybody enjoyed the music today as his first show back. I need some help though. I'm going to grab a lot more viewers this year. I'm going to get from whatever I have now. I want to get to 1,000 viewers by the end of July. So if you like this show, make sure you subscribe. Help me out, and tell all your friends, your family, your dog, your cat. Tell your grandmother twice removed, and tell everybody at work. I mean, just help me out. Any kind of help would be great. I just want to grow this thing so these artists can get better exposure on their music, so they can get a lot more exposure on their music, so they can get more sales. So it basically is they get the exposure, they get to place. Awesome for them. That's what we're here for. Again, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. As always, pick up your Neon Fox tees. Also, pick up my tee at the description below. And have a great one. I'll see everybody next week. Bye.